everybody. Woo! That's awesome. I want to, before I bring up our next performer, I want to tell you about a few other events. There's the Ultimate Poetry Series, which is every third Monday at NC Stage. That's hosted actually by our next performer and Jeff Davis. And right here at Creme and Quill, there is an HP Lovecraft night on August 30th. You want to check that out. And Queer Girls Poetry Reading at the Moth Light, that's August 24th at 6 p.m. Check that out. A lot of great events going on in town. And yeah. So our next performer has helped put this show all together. He's a poet, translator, and musician, originally from BC. He's got a book of English translations in the back of Federico Garcia Lorca and Pablo Neruda called Beautiful. That is his first book. It was published by New Native Press last year. And please welcome Caleb Beissert.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Are y'all having a good time yet? Yeah? Alright. Mission accomplished. This first poem I'm going to do tonight is called The Invisible World. I'm going to have a little music on this. I wring out my laundry in the rank world. Blackbirds fly in and out of an open window. For centuries, distress was my dwelling place. I looked skyward and dreamed, head resting in an open window. Tall buildings and street poles block my view. So I throw all my possessions out of an open window. Kings and lawyers lie down in palace corridors. A falcon with a note appears at the open window. The rulers cannot be trusted. Nothing has changed. A bandit steals my soul and makes through an open window. Beside the oak bookshelf, there is a wine bottle filled with peacock feathers. The invisible world lies just beyond the open window. Thank you. Ryan Price and Charlie Raw joining me. Oh, let's see here. Let's see. This next poem I'm going to do is called Really Good Sex. Really good sex. An old blind woman in Mongolia is suddenly stricken with sight. And this next poem I'm going to do is... Thank you, thank you. Thank you. This next poem I'm going to do comes from my book of translations from the Spanish. This is by the great poet Federico Garcia Lorca. This is my version of his poem, Ode a Walt Whitman, or Ode to Walt Whitman, written in 1926 or something like that, when he spent some time in New York and was rather frustrated and homesick, and you know, had a bit of a thing for old Uncle Walt. East River in the Bronx, the boys sang, showing their waists. With the wheel, the oil, the hide, and the hammer, 90,000 miners drew silver from the rocks, and the children drew stairs and foreshortenings. But no one was falling asleep. No one wanted to be a river. No one loved the large leaves. No one the beach's blue tongue. By the East River and the Queensboro, the boys fought with industry, and Jews sold the rose of circumcision to the river fawn. And the sky carried over bridges and rooftops herds of bison pushed by the wind. But no one stopped. No one wanted to be clouds. No one looked for ferns or the yellow wheel of the little drum. When the moon goes out, pulleys turn to disturb the sky. A border of needles will fence the memory, and caskets will take away those who are broken. New York of mud, New York of wires and of death. What angel do you carry concealed in your cheek? What perfect voice will say the truths about wheat? Who has terrible dreams of your stained anemones? Not a single moment, beautiful old man Walt Whitman. Have I stopped seeing your full butterfly's beard, or your shoulders of corduroy consumed by the moon, or your virginal Apollo's thighs, or your voice like an ash column? Old beautiful man like the fog, who is moaning the same as a bird with its sex pierced by a needle, enemy of the Saturn, enemy of the vine, and lover of the bodies under rough fabric. Not a single moment, virile beauty. Then upon mountains of coal, advertisements and railroads, you dream to be a river and to sleep like a river, with that companion who would implant a little pain of ignorant leopards in your breast. Not a single moment, atom by blood, macho, man alone in the sea, beautiful old man Walt Whitman. Because on terraced roofs, grouped in the bars, coming out of the sewers in bunches, trembling between the chauffeur's legs, or gyrating on the platforms of absinthe. Gaze, Walt Whitman, they are pointing at you. Also that one, also. And they console themselves on your luminous and chaste beer. Blondes of the north, blacks of the sand, crowds of shouts and gestures like the cats and like the snakes. Gaze, Walt Whitman, gaze obscured by your wheat, flesh for the riding whip, the boot, or the bite of the bronco buster. Also that one, also. Dyed fingers take aim at the shores of your dream, when the friend eats your apple with a light taste of gasoline, and the sun sings for the belly buttons of the boys who play under the bridges. But you did not look for scratched eyes, or the obscure swamps where the children submerge, or the frozen saliva, or the curves wounded like the toad's belly that gays carry around in cars and upon terraces, while the moon whips them at the corners of terror. You searched for a nude body that was like a river, a bull in a dream that would join the wheel in the water weed. Father of your agony, camellia of your death, and he would moan in the flames of your hidden equator. Because it is unjust for a man to seek his delight in the blood jungle of fast approaching tomorrow. The sky has beaches where you can evade life, and there are bodies that should not be repeated in the dawn. Agony, agony, dream, ferment, and dream. This is the world, my friend. Agony, agony, agony. The dead decompose under the clocks of the city. The war passes by crying with a million gray rats. The rich men give their mistresses little more than visionaries, and life is neither noble, nor good, nor sacred. Man can, if he wants, conduct his desire for a vein of coral or a celestial nude. Tomorrow the darlings will become rocks and time, a breeze coming through the sleeping branches. That's why I do not raise my voice, old Walt Whitman, against the little boy who writes the name of a girl in his pillow, or against the boy who dresses as his girlfriend in the darkness of the clothes closet, or against the loners of the casino who drink in disgust the water of prostitution, or against men with green gazes who love men and whose lips burn in silence, but against you themselves, gaze of the cities, of tumescent meat and filthy thoughts, mothers of mud, harpies, sleepless enemies of the love that distributes crowns of joy. Against you always, you who give the boys drops of dirty death with bitter poison. Against you always, fairies of North America, birds of Havana, queers of Mexico, effeminate men of Cadiz, celeries of Sevilla, garcos of Madrid, flores of Alicante, adelenas of Portugal. Gays of the world, murderers of doves, slaves of the woman, bitches of their bureaus, open in the plazas with feverish vans, or lying in ambush in stiff landscapes of hemlock. There are no barracks. Death pours out of your eyes and groups gray flowers on the shores of mud. There are no barracks. Alert! May the confused, the pure, the classics, the dignified, the petitioners shut the doors of the orgy to you. And you, beautiful Walt Whitman, sleep by the shores of the Hudson with your beard toward the pole and open hands. Soft clay or snow, your tongue is calling comrades who watch over your bodiless gazelle. Sleep. There is nothing left. A dance of walls stirs the grasslands, and America becomes flooded with machines and tears. I wish the strong air of the deepest nights would come and take away flowers and letters from the arch where you sleep, and a little black boy would announce to the whites of gold the arrival of the kingdom of wheat.
Beissert, everybody. He put this evening together for us. Give him another hand. He's got some books for sale. They're really good. Several people have things for sale here. Tom, I'm going to give you a break because Vendetta Creme's going to come up for a second and do a couple more, unless you had something imperative to offer. We're gonna get straight to business. Charlie Raw here on guitar for you, direct from New York City. It's a pleasure, Charlie.
3 minutes.
Laisse-les blancs, et désert, elle aussi de blanche. Elle est blanche, comme un point noir, c'est l'air minuscule nègre. Et tout est noir, et qui te tue. Et seul au monde, Jimmy, mon ami, nous es tout est perdu, Jimmy, tout est perdu, c'est la grande Jimmy, Jimmy, oh, la poudre blanche, Jimmy, maintenant, Jimmy, tout est souverain, tous les cavaillons, en met la bâtien ta voix, tout va près de toi, oh, s'approchons, ton soleil, les premiers, l'oasis, te gagnons. Vêtue de blanc, elle n'est jamais ses robes blanches. Comme l'avalanche, dans ce désert, c'est perdu minuscule nègre. Tu récupères plus du mur, mais les cochons. Jimmy, mon ami, nous et toi. Tout est perdu, c'est là, la poudre blanche, ça m'a laissé jamais. Tout maintenant, j'ai dit tout est souverain, tout n'est cavaillon, en met la bâtien ta voix, tout va près de toi, oh, s'approchons, ton soleil, les premiers, l'oasis, te gagnons. Jimmy, mon ami, tu n'es plus haut. Le monde est atterré, le monde est sur l'écran.